Game 5. I was like, oh god. And I thought they would win 6. I mean, 7 was tough. They lost 1-0, and they gave up a short-handed goal, which they hadn't given up all season. Figured it would be in Game 7, but overall it was a good season for them. You know, I mean, I hope they can take that next step. They need, absolutely need. I mean, they really missed Anders Lee in that series. You know, he'd been out, but that was the series they really could have used his, you know, him in front of the net, because that's what, you know, his bread and butter is just setting up shop in front of the net, getting deflection goals. He's very good in front of, not just deflections, but he's very good in front of the net, up close, which I think they really missed. I mean, obviously Tampa's a great team. Obviously they're defending champs, so Valesky, how do you say him, is awesome, and they do have a great defense too, so, you know, it's still tough, but they need, I mean, Anders Lee is a decent goal scorer, but he's like a specific kind of goal scorer. I feel like Barzal can be a good goal scorer, but I don't know, they need to pick up a guy who can consistently get like 30 goals. I don't even know if that's available in free agency this year. I don't know most of the free, I know Ovechkin's a free agent, that's, you know, but he's not, he's going to end up staying with, even though he's old, he's still an elite goal scorer. I mean, and he shoots the puck a ton. The problem with the Islanders is a lot of their guys don't shoot a lot. I know that Tampa blocked a lot of shots the other night, but I feel like they get pass happy. They've always had that problem. Their power play needs to get better, obviously. But I mean, they still have a great defense, and their goaltending's really good, so, you know, and they have a bunch of solid players. I'd say Barzal's more of like their star. I wouldn't necessarily call him a superstar, but he's definitely their star player, and they have a bunch of solid players on their team, but, you know, as long as they have Trotz, they'll have a system, you know, that will make them competitive. I mean, listen, they lost Game 7 1-0, you know. I mean, they were that close, you know. I mean, going into the third period, it was 1-0, so, I mean, that was anybody's game at that point. I don't know who I'm rooting for in the finals. I think I said that Canadians at first, because I think that's how people always are after that team loses to a certain team, but really, whoever wins. I mean, it'd be cool for Canada, obviously, because they haven't won since 1993, and it was the Canadians last time. But, I mean, whoever wins, wins. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not like one of those fans who's like holds some kind of crazy grudge against the team because they've beaten them a few times in the playoffs. It doesn't, whatever, it doesn't matter. We got the Hawks. The Hawks are in the conference finals. They got blown out the other night, but they won Game 1 against the Bucks. I think the Suns are up 3-1 in their series against the Clippers, so good for the Hawks. I always like seeing teams that don't have a ton of, like, success and, you know, kind of underdogs get in there. I know Trae Young's been going nuts. So that's kind of cool. I mean, the Bucks have, I can't say his name. I know Giannis, but I can't say his name. Like, I can't say his last name. He's obviously awesome, and they have a good team. But they'll be. I think the Suns are going to make it at this point at 3-1. But because I think Kawhi Leonard's hurt, right? So I know what's his name was in COVID protocol for 2 weeks. He's back though now. Chris Paul. So who knows? It's going to be a different finals finally, without a LeBron team in it. Kudos to him for making the finals like 10 years in a row. I mean, he missed it the first year with the Lakers, and then he went back. But right, it was 4 with the Heat. Did he just go to 8? Why did I say 10? He went to 8. Yeah, because he didn't go to that. Yeah, all right. So he went to 8. Right, 4 with the Heat, 4 with the Cavs. Yeah. What did he go 3-5 in those? He's been to 9 finals. He went to that early one, really early in his career when they got destroyed by the Spurs. When the Spurs, I mean, LeBron had to have been like maybe in his got really like 3rd or 4th year at that point when they went to that one. That was a team like he usually. I mean, obviously with the Heat, he didn't have to carry the team, and the Cavs he didn't really either, although they were injuries. But that fucking first Cavs team, I can't even remember who else was on the team other than him. To be honest with you, I know Shaq played with him briefly. Shaq was on the Cavs briefly. Weird. Shaq's been on like what, 10 teams? Who's Shaq been on? Magic, Lakers, Heat, Suns, Celtics, Cavs. He's been like 6. That's funny. It's funny too when you watch someone like a Shaq, because when Shaq was, you know, even early in Orlando, he wasn't as huge. He was already huge, but he got bigger on the fucking Lakers. I remember they beat Portland like 3 years in a row in the playoffs. They beat friggin' Portland. Portland was down 3-1, and it was the first Lakers title with Kobe and Shaq. Portland was down 3-1 in that series. They brought it back to 7. They were up like 17 going into the 4th, and they fucking blew it. They did the same thing against the Bulls in the finals in Game 6. They were up like 17 in the 4th, and they blew it. They're kind of known for blowing big leads late, so that was disappointing. There's some fireworks. But I remember that I was so pissed at that game, man, that I was fucking flipping out when Portland blew that lead. That was rough. That was fucking rough. Because I think they could have beaten that Pacers team too, that the Lakers beat. But man, I remember they lost game 1, I believe, and they blew out the Lakers in game 2 in LA. And then I was like, oh shit, here we go. And then they dropped fucking 3 and 4 in Portland. I don't know if they did how they were doing I don't know if they did 3 in a row in Portland. No, they couldn't have. Cause it was the 2-2, 1-1-1. Sometimes in the finals in the NBA they would go 2-3-2. Back then, I know the Portland Bulls series, I'm pretty sure was 2-3-2. Yeah, because Portland lost game 1, won game 2, lost game 3, won game 4, lost game 5, and lost game 6. I remember I was randomly walking down the street. This was probably maybe like 15 years ago. And I guess someone had old papers they were throwing out, and the top one was the back page. And it was sports. And it was like it said air vacuum. It was when Portland beat the Bulls in 92, the 91-92 finals in game 4. Because I guess they held Jordan scoreless in the 4th quarter. I'd forgotten that. I like those days, basketball. That was like my big time for basketball. I first started getting into it in 7th grade, and then like all through the 90s, I was super into it. Even into the early 2000s as well. But I was super, like, the matchups were great, I mean, it just, a lot of the Bulls were winning all the titles, except when Jordan retired those 2 years, and then the tail end, the Spurs beat the Knicks. That was a strike season, I believe, right? Portland had that slight run, because Portland in the early 89-90, they went to the finals. 90-91, they lost the conference finals. 91-92, they went back to the finals. And then they got knocked out in the first round like 7 years in a row. Wait, 93, 94, 94, 95, 96, 97, 97, 98, 6 years in a row. And then 98, 99, 2000, they went back conference finals. And then they were getting knocked out in the first round again. I remember they were down 3-0 to Dallas at one point in the first round and pushed that to game 7. They came back then but lost in game 7. And then with Lillard, McCollum, just Lillard at first, I think McCollum came a little later. They made a couple second rounds and stuff, and then they made a conference finals where the Warriors fucked them up. We bought our plants today. We finally got time to do up the garden a little bit. We planted some stuff, some flowers and pots and herbs and pots. We've got a couple of pepper plants, a tomato plant, eggplant, a squash and zucchini, I believe. So finally got that. There wasn't a lot of time. We finally did that. We went to the aquarium yesterday too, out in Riverhead. That was okay. I went with my fiance and my aunt. My aunt wanted to do that before leaving for Florida. That aquarium is okay. It's not big. There's not a lot of space for it. They have some sharks there. I mean, you kind of feel bad for these fish. They're in like freaking tiny. A lot of them are in tiny. Like they're just swimming back and forth. But it's. I mean, they have like some otters there. We didn't see them. Penguins we saw. I mean, just very small exhibits. And they have like random other things there too. Snakes, some spiders. Well, they have a butterfly thing too. We went into. There's butterflies flying around stuff, and there's some insects in there. Same thing though. They got like a giant spider in a small fucking case. It's just like, I'm not really a fan of that, to be honest with you. Gotta give these things bigger space. If you're gonna grab them, gotta give them some more fucking space to do something, right? That's the world, though, right? That's the world when you're number one on the food chain. You can do as you please to whatever the hell you want, including each other. I always say if aliens came down to here, the human race would have a real fucking hard time accepting being number 2. If something was just superior to us, we would be crying like fucking the fucking babies that we are. But what else? Although that's funny too, because I know Congress and stuff released a bunch of that UFO shit, like 143 since '04, like unexplained things that they couldn't explain. There was 18 of something else too. I can't remember. I got a kick out of that. I'm like, oh, here we go. What else? I went to the garage sales yesterday. There was only 2 I went to, and I went to 1 today. Nothing doing at the 3 I went to. Surprisingly, it was just nothing going on yesterday, which sucked. I'm kind of glad I've been getting as many days at work as I am, because the garage sales been just not great. They started okay, and then, you know, we were in South Carolina for a bit, so I missed weekends there. I came back. It was pouring the weekend we came back, so that weekend was done. And then I think the following weekend, no, it's been like 3 weekends since then, and I picked up the PS2 games and the GameCube game. That was a good score that one weekend. And then there was nothing 2 other weekends. It's not been good. Oh, wait. No, I picked up those Pokemons the same time I got the games, right? Yeah, I believe so. Oh, and I picked up another weekend I picked up those PlayStation 1 games where I probably shouldn't have bothered. But I was at a point where I want to grab stuff, you know. Yeah, I forgot about that. But other than that, it really is, man. I picked up a few things from the thrift store, Rise, Son of Rome, and stuff. I ordered another, I mentioned that I'd gotten an Xbox game, Xbox One game for $10. It was on sale at Best Buy and Amazon. I ended up getting off of Amazon, and I picked up another game because I had that gift card for my birthday. I picked up a game from Best Buy that I got to pick up tomorrow. That was $13.99, and then I used the rest and then some off my own card on Amazon to pick up another cheap game. So I got another 2. I'll do it probably on Tuesday. I think they're all gonna be here by well, I'll pick up the one tomorrow. I think the other one's gonna be here on Tuesday. So on Wednesday, I'll probably, or Tuesday night, I'll do pick up the 3 games I got. I mean, they're games I'm actually interested in. One I played a little bit of on Game Pass, but it fucked up and froze, and I just didn't want to deal with it. I moved on to something else, and that was cool, but I played a little bit of that. And the other one I didn't play, but it looks cool. They're both like tactic type games, you know, like Gladius and Valkyria Chronicles and that kind of shit. There are 2 of them, other 2, and the one sounds really cool. I never even heard of it, and I saw it because it was cheap on Amazon. I was like, oh, what's this? I think I missed this one. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was looking at reviews, and it was supposed to be really good, so I was like, I gotta get this too. So I need to kind of lay off because I'm buying so many. I'm not spending really much money on them, but I need to kind of take a step back. I'm pushing almost like 60 Xbox One games now on physical copies. I obviously have more games, not more, but I have like another, like I'm not counting like 360 and arcade style games, downloadable games, kind of indie games or whatever. I'm talking like, I guess, bigger budget games, I guess you could call them that. Some are still not. But games that kind of had a physical release and a digital release or whatever. But like, you know, I have like Just Cause 3 on the Xbox One. I did a digital collection once. I got Lego The Hobbit. Both the Sherlock Holmes games, the first Evil Within. I have a bunch of those games I haven't played too. There go some dogs. But I gotta take some time. I gotta like lay off buying the games, and after I get back from, or after I should finish up Yakuza Like a Dragon, because playing on Game Pass, maybe I'll get into one game before I have to go down to Florida with my aunt to help her move. With the cats, I think coming back, I'm gonna focus on the games I have not beaten on the Xbox One, and I gotta start just taking one out and playing the shit out of it and beating it, and then moving on to another one, because I'm not even gonna open these games I got at the moment because I want to finish up what I got. Oh Christ, that just definitely fucking picked up. Like, I don't want to use Microsoft Office for free, thanks, but thanks for interrupting my video. Jesus Christ. It's always something if you're on a computer. But yeah, I need to kind of just focus. Like Resident Evil Village, I picked it up. I obviously had to leave, but then I got back and focused on it. I'm focusing on Yakuza Like a Dragon. I'll probably play a little bit after this. So I need to finish that up. Maybe play something else on Game Pass. Or just say fuck it on Game Pass. Because I think that ends in August. So I probably still have time when I came back to play something I need to, or maybe I'll just wait till I get back from Florida, which will be late July or later July, and focus on those. I gotta have like after I get these two, I'm gonna have like 15 sealed games still for the Xbox. You know, some that were gifted to me from some of you guys, and other ones I bought myself, like, you know, Dragon's Quest, Final Fantasy, 10-10-2 HD, God, like, well, Hellblade is still sealed from Christmas. I played some of that on Game Pass a while back. Mutant Year Zero, I forgot I even bought that. It was cheap, and it's another strategy, you know, tactics, turn-based strategy game. There's others in there too. Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, which originally came out on the PSP, I believe. I mean, there's so many. And I have other ones I played, like Infinite Warfare was $5 at Five Below. I'm gonna go in Five Below tomorrow, see if they, because they cycle through their games from time to time. So I may have a fourth one if they have anything different in there. But like I said, I mean, these are cheap games. I'm not going nuts. I mean, I think of all the games I've bought recently myself, I think, not counting Resident Evil Village, which I did pay the full $60 for, I think Dragon's Quest was like $28 after tax, so I'm spending under $30, and I'll go lower than that most of the time. Final Fantasy, World of Final Fantasy, I know it was originally on the Vita, but then they put it out on everything else. That's like $8.50 on Best Buy. I was looking at that too. I'm like, am I gonna buy that too? And I actually picked the other game that I knew I would play much sooner, because I wasn't really playing much of it on the Vita, so why am I gonna play it on the Xbox One? I'm just in a real kick of just buying games. I don't know why, it's not smart. But like I said, I'm not spending a ton of money on. I'm gonna try to get videos up the next 4 days to end the month. Through the 30th, I'm gonna probably do gameplay tomorrow, maybe, or Tuesday. I'll probably do an eating. Maybe I'll do an eating video tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll film 2 vids, because I'm working Tuesday, and then I'm not Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday I am working, so that's gonna be a little tougher. I want to have one in the tank for at least Thursday or Friday to put up. It would have to be Thursday morning because I'm staying out. And so, it's just, you know, I mean, I end up getting about 20 videos up this month, which is still really good, so I can't, you know, I mean, it's kind of a pullback from like the high 20s, 28, 29, 30 I was doing up until May. But like I said, it took a lot out of me, so now I'm kind of, not necessarily getting the groove. I think I'm a little okay with not, you know, skipping 2 days, you know. I mean, it gives videos a ton of time to sit there and people to watch them as well, so I'll see. Trying to think of a movie. Oh, we watched that movie Nobody a few weeks ago with Bob Odenkirk. Really good action movie. I think, did I talk about that in the video? Fast paced. He really plays that kind of like Bruce Willis type action star really well. It was a really non-stop action movie. The fight scenes were sick, just brutal. Good movie. Kind of had some A-Team elements into it at the end. The building things, not the violence. What else did we watch? Oh, we watched, that second, The Conjuring, what was it called? The newest Conjuring, what the hell is it? Oh, The Devil Made Me Do It. That was okay. I think did I talk about that? I'm losing interest in those kind of movies. This one was a little different. The other one's more like a detective almost type movie that's based on a true story. You know, whatever, if you want to believe that stuff or not, but the events did happen in terms of like they had to go to court and all this shit, and they said like the devil made the kid do it, or a demon, I should say. But they have to like figure out. I don't know if that stuff actually happened. They were cursed and all this shit. I don't think that happened. I think they had that in the movie, but if there's kind of a detective, the Warrens are like trying to figure out things. So it's more of like a detective type movie. I mean, it was alright. It wasn't a bad movie. It's just I think I'm losing interest in those kind of movies, to be honest with you. You know, the Annabelles, they're all like, they have their like own universe, which is kind of fun. good. I mean, it's